Honey, go check his pockets. I don't believe him. What makes you think you can come into court and lie to me and think that I'm not going to know? This domestic violence has got to stop. It's the #1 cause of death and injury to women in this country. One of the things about this judge show that's going to be good is that we're going to focus on that and try to help educate people, and especially young people, to show them how devastating it really is to society. My mother was a victim of domestic violence, and she's no longer here because of it. As part of my deliberations or part of the sentence, we're going to box the defendants. 6'5", 310, and the way I see it, I don't think anyone on the planet that's a white person is going to be able to whoop me, and that's the bottom line. Even if we're eliminating the problem one defendant at a time, you know, I figure if we're helping one woman out there, then, you know, that's great. That's, you know I don't want to end up like my mother.
All rise. Honorable Judge Tony Liker presiding.
Please be seated. Please be seated. Next case we have today is Patricia Clark versus Danny Smith. It's an application for a temporary protective order. Okay, and you're Patricia Clark?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're applying for a temporary protective order against your boyfriend. Can you please tell me why you filed for protective order?
Yes, Your Honor. He's not a good boyfriend. He takes my money and he doesn't help me in anything, and he's just not a good man. Even with the kid, he doesn't help me. And
Okay, Mrs. Clark, look, I know a lot of stuff may be gone in your relationship, but this is not a custody case or divorce case. This is a application for a temporary protective order. So we need to focus on the issue which is relevant. The only issue is relevant is why do you need protection if you need protection?
Okay, Your Honor. Well, Danny has choked me. He has punched me. And he has threatened to kill me in several occasions. Look at him. He's so big and tall, and I'm only 5 feet.
Okay, I'm sorry, ma'am. All right, let's. Has anything happened recently that you can talk about? Did you?
Your Honor. Well, Danny is violent, and.
What's the latest incident that's happened?
The latest incident. I was in my car the other day.
How many days ago was that?
It was like about 10, 15 days ago.
Okay, and before that, I think in your application you said there hadn't really been anything else as far as physically for over a year. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so tell me what happened 10, 15 days ago.
I was in my car. He reached in there with his left arm, and he started to strangle me. And he was saying that I was lying all the time, and that he was doing it because I'm a liar, and all these things that I don't know. And I sped off, Your Honor.
And so you were able to get away?
Your Honor, I was able to get away, and that's when I filed for the protective order, Your Honor.
Okay, I understand. And just hang on a second here. Let's hear from. We're going to hear from Danny Smith. Mr. Smith, are you opposed to me extending this TPO for a year?
Absolutely, and everything she's been telling you is an absolute lie.
Okay.
You know.
And can you tell me anything specifically about what she said?
Well, she likes to make up stories about how she's abused and how I choke her and how I beat her up all the time because she's a drama queen. She likes to get sympathy from people, just like she's trying to get sympathy from you right now.
Well, so you're saying that she's...
I've been a loving boyfriend. I've been a loving caretaker of her children, and that's the bottom line. I don't know why she's making this stuff up.
Okay, well, Mr. Smith, do you have a job out at the test site or anything like that? Where do you work at?
I'm not working right now.
Okay.
She's taking care of me, just like a woman should.
Okay. Well, that tells me something. You know, so you're gonna let the woman work, and you're gonna be lazy and stay at home.
Yeah, why not? Why not? They've been doing it for years. Figured it's my turn.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
That tells me a lot, Mr. Smith. Look, what my inclination is this is a civil proceeding. It's merely here to protect. I think we've got probable cause, which isn't a great burden here. You know, I'm not finding you guilty, although you're making some pretty ridiculous comments here. But the bottom line is I'm going to extend this protective order for a year. And all it is that you can't go around her or her place of business for a year. And
well, we'll see about that.
What do you mean we're going to see about that?
We're going to see about that. That's my girlfriend right there.
It's not your girlfriend anymore. She filed for a protective order. And you're going to stay away from her, and you're going to do what I say. Otherwise, we're going to put you in jail. So
that sounds like fun.
And just for your own edification, sir, God asks one thing of us, and that's to be obedient. That's the only thing he asks of us. We're obedient. And the way to be obedient, the first thing you need to do is to get your nose in this book and start reading this book. All the answers in the good book, in the Bible. So, and the Bible tells us to be obedient and to show ourselves approved. In 2 Timothy 2:15 it states, "Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth." So if we know our Bible and we know what he wants of us, then we can be obedient, and then God can bless us. God always wants to bless us, even if we do bad, but he can't because we're swimming away from him. We're swimming to the deep end of the waters instead of swimming the shore where there's safety. And if you read your Bible, you'll know and you can be obedient. Favor and blessing from God is not an accident. It's not an accident. In Isaiah 1:19 it says, "If ye be willing and obedient, ye shall eat the good of the land." It's not an accident when you're blessed. God will bless you if you're obedient. God is appointed to be on this bench, and obedience is very important. In fact, the only thing God requires of us is obedience, and that's something I heard from Pastor Dr. Michael Murdoch, which is a very good pastor I've watched on TV. And he says that you should wake up in the morning, every morning, and ask God for instructions and be obedient. In fact, in Psalms 5:3 it says, "My voice shalt thou hear in the morning, O Lord. In the morning will I direct my prayer unto thee, and I will look up." Psalms 5:3. And that's what we should listen. We should listen to God's voice and to hear him. And that's all he expects of us. In fact, if we are obedient, then he'll do miraculous things for us. And in fact, there's a great example with Joshua in the Bible. Actually, it's the only place in the Bible where God listened to a man, and because Joshua asked that the sun stand still, he had the sun stand still so they would have more time to defeat the enemy on the battlefield. Joshua 10:14 reads, "On the day the Lord gave the Amorites over to Israel, Joshua said to the Lord in the presence of Israel, O sun, stand still over Gibeon, O moon over the valley of Jelon. So the sun stood still and the moon stopped, till the nation avenged itself on its enemies, as it is written in the book of Jashar. The sun stopped in the middle of the sky, delayed going down about a full day. There has never been a day like it before or since, a day when the Lord listened to a man. Surely the Lord was fighting for Israel." And what's important to realize about that, and so interesting, is, well, why would God listen to Joshua? Well, if you look back in the Bible, it's very clear. It was because of his obedience. In Numbers, Caleb and Joshua were the only ones that were the spies that went over and went into the promised land and saw the giants, and they were the ones that still said, hey, we need to go into the land still and be obedient to the Lord. And that's why, because of his obedience. And this is what, as Joshua spoke to all the Israelites, he tore his robe, his clothes in front of him. He said, and he told the Israelites, only do not rebel against the Lord, and do not be afraid of the people of the land, because we will swallow them up. Their protection is gone, but the Lord is with us. Do not be afraid of him. And what he was saying is, do not be afraid of the giants, no matter how great they are, because the Lord is with us. And because of his obedience later on in the battle, God listens to him. So the point is if you are obedient to the Lord, even the little things, the Lord sees that, and he will listen to you, and he will do great things for you, just like he did in Joshua in chapter 10, where the sun stood still for a whole day. It's never happened before, never since. So let me ask you something. Look, I'm going to try to help you out here. I'm not trying to put you in jail. I just want you to stay away from her, more than 100 feet away from her. If you see her in a grocery store, you got to stay away, because just calm down. That's all you got to do.
I can't do that, Your Honor.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
You're not going to do that.
Right there.
Okay. Okay. Nicholas, Tiny, take him in. Cuff him up. We're going to put you in jail for 25 days.
Right.
That's direct contempt. We'll bring you back here in 25 days. And then we'll see what you think then. And if you keep this up, I'll just keep you locked up. We'll keep you locked up for a year. So
See what you've done? See what you've done to us?
See what she's done? What are you talking about? Don't talk to her.
Unbelievable.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.